Qué rollo, quiero mandar un saludo a mi amigo Goodfella de parte de tu amigo Jaime Munguía. Un abrazo, carnal. Ánimo.
All right, Keyshawn Davis went on a rant yesterday and about Errol Spence. Now, from what I've seen, now you can tell me if I'm wrong. Errol Spence just was saying Frank Martin when Keyshawn Davis was fighting, and Keyshawn Davis took offense to it, threw Bud in there. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. You probably would have thought this would be the first video I actually cut. But man, I had a long day, bro. Day. Longer than expected, detours, all types of shit. But coming from the gym, man. Went to the gym in Dearborn today. I was on that side of town, but I'll be glad. I'll be happy when everything in the clear, man. But nonetheless, bro. So I seen a little bit of his rant. And he could be running with a little clout. I ain't mad at it. You know, I just thought Errol Spence, I just look at Errol Spence. People got to separate Errol Spence the promoter, Errol Spence the fighter. From what I seen, I thought he was just trying to promote Frank Martin. That's what I thought. I just thought he was trying to promote Frank Martin. And that's what it was. Now, I don't know if they, you know, went deeper than that. But he went hard. Basically said, you know, I got somebody for you, Bud, and now people asking, can he beat Frank Martin in 6 fights? You know, Frank Martin is raw too, you know what I'm saying? But he got a lot of professional fights under his belt. I mean, you know, you hear rumors about him and Cobra being on Spence and Crawford undercard. I mean, you hear Leo Santa Cruz and Ray Vargas. I don't see both of them fights being on Spence and Crawford undercard together, but if it is, it's already a hell of an undercard. It's money well worth it. But like I said before, you know, then you got people reposting a picture of Keyshawn Davis and Errol Spence. Shit changed. Shit, pictures of Biggie and Pac out there, nigga. You know, things change. Maybe he was considered training with Derrick James. Obviously, a lot of people feel like some of the frustration that Bud is having is boiling over into Keyshawn Davis, and that's kind of like, I won't say per se Bud is speaking through Keyshawn Davis, or maybe Keyshawn Davis is speaking up for Bud. You know, he goes in and said pretty much Bud that stopped everybody and blase blah, blase this about Errol Spence and stuff of that nature. And you know, everybody know Errol Spence is looking shook out here, bro. He look weak as hell. No, and like I said before, you know, looks could be deceiving. He might go in there and smash Terence Crawford. Whoever knows. Right now, the nigga looking real fragile. And then I think Errol Spence kind of like responded, say, well, I'm paraphrasing, I really ain't got nothing against Bud and all that weak ass, what the KB say, all that soft ass ish, shut that soft ass ish up. You know, I ain't got nothing against him and all, but I just think he was just trying to play promoter. And, you know, that's my humble opinion on it. I think Keyshawn Davis kind of took it the wrong way, unless I didn't see something. But it's hard to kind of really, you know, it's kind of hard to really kind of, like, you know, you ever read a text and you read it wrong? You know what I'm saying? And you like, man, I read it the wrong way or whatever. Or I read it in my tone in my head and I think it was disrespectful. It's hard. I just think he was, you know, and he picking Frank Martin, but you supposed to. That's his man's. And when Errol Spence gonna take an opportunity to promote Frank Martin, that's what he supposed to do. But Keyshawn Davis, you gotta understand, these dudes are very, you know, they very meticulous about their craft, bro. They very, very, they take that shit, they very, very sensitive about that. I don't want to use sensitive, but shit, when you put your heart and soul in that shit, he basically was saying Errol was trying to crowd chase off his name with Frank Martin. And already people have been kind of putting Frank Martin against Keyshawn Davis with the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford shit. And like I said, I don't see eye to eye with 7A Sports TV, but he said this shit a long time ago. And I agree with that. I'll give niggas props for this dude. These dudes been needed to have, they should have already been fighting. They should have been fought. This didn't pretty much, this didn't really fucking like mutated into some other stuff. And we already seen it where this was going. This really divided the black box community. And now it's us versus us. It really have divided the black boxing community. You know? But yeah, I just think he took it the wrong. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. He come on here and say, well, this, that, and the third, and that's how I felt. And Errol Spence can say this, that, and the third, how I felt. But it's hard to separate a fighter from a promoter and a promoter from a fighter. And they one the same. People looking at it as, well, of course he's going to pick Frank Martin. What are you supposed to say? Well, it's going to be a tough fight. I pick Keyshawn Davis. No. No. And Keyshawn was saying, like, how he don't ever say nothing bad about, fighters when they fight. He give them props. Bro, you got to understand, dude, it's all about promotion. Ain't nothing personal about it. Chances is y'all never cross paths. That's a chance. But he took the opportunity and got some PR off of it. But like I said, this blood and Spence shit is manifesting into some, like, dog, I can't even say he wasn't gonna get out of hand. Like I said, 7-8 been predicted that shit. And I pretty much believe what he was saying. Shit. We pretty much all, like, people, we already know how this works in Pacquiao Floyd. At least we was unified in Pacquiao Floyd. This worse than that shit. It is, And then he was gonna take a chance to throw Bud into it, but Bud and Errol Spence needed PR. And Errol could have turned around and really said something nasty about Terence Crawford, but then again, Errol Spence stayed on code with Terence Crawford, to be honest. I think they talked on the phone, they maybe talked again. I don't know. Like 20 white people holding up at McDonald's. Suspicious. But maybe they agreed, like, man, we ain't gonna do all this, back and forth until it's done, or we ain't gonna do this. He stayed on code, because he really could have ripped him. But then again, that's coming from Keyshawn Davis. And most people say, well, he's speaking for Bud. And Errol probably spoke to him and know it ain't the case. That could have got really out of hand, but shit, they need that to get out of hand. They need to feed off what Keyshawn Davis did to build that fight up. People say, well, it's a demand. It's a demand. Yeah, it's a demand on the fight, but dog, they need to create some type of beef. Some type of back and forth. That's what people want to see, and they don't want to do that. They're gonna leave a lot of money on the table. Ain't being honorable and all that. That's after the fight. Respect. And it can be the greatest fighter of the century, but if nobody bought a pay-per-view and see it, it can't be an instant classic. Just being real. If ain't nobody gonna see it, it's not gonna be an instant classic, bro. Even if niggas streaming, bro. What's the point? What's the point? That's just how I see it, bro. But Keyshawn felt a certain type of way, and I think maybe he overreacted a tad bit. Just my opinion. I like Keyshawn Davis, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Been hearing about him for some years now. And then Shakur Stevenson felt some type of way about Teddy Atlas. He came back and said something to my Teddy Atlas hating and shit. And at the end of the day, you going against a 67-year-old old man, I don't think it's gonna help your case. A lot of people, these fighters, are sensitive over their craft, and that's like me being sensitive over the videos. But you've been doing so long, one thing you're gonna have to understand, in my Thanos voice, in somebody's story, you're gonna be the villain. No matter how much you try to do right, no matter how much you try to make it right, somebody's story, you're gonna be the villain, bro. Somebody gonna vilify you. And that's just the honest truth. So I don't be reading too much into it. Just being on here for some years, hearing all the criticism, hearing all the praise. Don't get too high, don't get too low. So I ain't gonna go in and, call some old man to be. And I feel him. That's, I ain't saying that he wrong. But shit, you just motivate you, bro, to go harder. Or shit, like I said, I never get too high, never get too low. That's one thing I try to be on, bro. You run into something that's good that happened, you know what I'm saying? You gotta just know it could be gone in a New York second. Not a minute, a New York second. The man upstairs giveth, the man upstairs taketh. So like I said, what's Future say? I hope that I can remain humble. That's all you can really do is hope that you can remain humble. gotta remember, I gotta stop by this kid house. I might as well get it over with now. See if he outside. Trying to give him a puppy. Oh man. See if he outside. See my Amazon package on the yeah, it's right there. So yeah, you just don't want to get too high, too low. But I feel Keyshawn Davis, whatever. You take it and run with the PR. That's what I would say. Take it and run with the PR. At the end of the day, they all can sit down and talk. Earl probably gonna say, man, I ain't really mean it like that, bro. And I know, you know, I feel you. I'm a fighter too. You got a little emotional. I feel you. We very, you know, we very, you know, sensitive, and we sensitive for our craft. So I'm not gonna get too high. I'm not gonna get too low. But I ain't really mean it like that. And honestly, you know, and I call a spade, and I don't think he really meant it like that at all. So I'm just saying. But yeah, man, I mean, everybody, you know, kind of high and low. He went on this little rant. But if they get on the horn, you know, he calmed down. He gonna be like, you know what, it wasn't even that deep. But a lot of people gonna feel like he was speaking for Bud. And, you know, we kind of would hope that he would spark something, though, honestly, between both of them. But obviously they got an agreement not to go back and forth. But I don't think they understand. It's one of the reasons why they going out the way not to make this fight, because it's no back and forth. And they want to just say, well, we want to do this clean and all this, and we don't want to be seen as niggas and shit. Nigga, don't matter how clean and cut you are, they call Uncle Phil a nigga. And people in the real world just like him. So that's what you gotta understand. No matter if you civil, clean, proper, or you the grimiest, dirtiest nigga out here, they still gonna call you a nigga. And preferably probably the one with the ER. So like I said before, it's the entertainment business. You know? It's the entertainment business, and that's what it is. And if you can't entertain inside and outside the ring, especially when you black, it's 10 times harder. That's what people gotta understand. It's 10 times harder when you black. So they gonna take you through the ringer. They gonna make you climb an uphill battle. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, I'm over it, dude. They gonna do it. If 5 people watch or 55,000 people watch, that's pretty much gonna be on them. So, it is what it is, man. Check out the Box News playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I done had my YouTube moments just like Keyshawn Davis that had his moments, his moments, bro. And I feel like sometimes I maybe overreacted, but sometimes you gotta let people know, bro. You know, sometimes you gotta let people know, like, I ain't the one to play with. So that's just my opinion on it. Let me slide up in the crib, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button, it's the bell icon button. Hit on notification, increase your chance to get notification. I'll live drop a video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.